Hi, friends. Thought I would share some cool news with you today. I will be covering the South by Southwest Film Festival virtually, thanks to the good folks at the press office for helping me be part of this awesome festival this year. So it's kind of part of my self-care. I'm going to call this series Self-Care at South by Southwest, thanks to the friend who suggested that to me the other day. So this is just sort of a pre-festival, list that I want to share with you in terms of some of the films that I am looking forward to that have come to my radar in terms of what looks interesting. I know that South by Southwest has an all-encompassing festival in the sense of music, comedy, film. There are panels happening. There's a lot of different talks and a lot of opportunities to network, even if it's virtually. So I am looking forward to spending a little bit of time online, getting to know other attendees if possible, but I'm probably going to limit what I cover this year to the film festival portion because I can only do so much as one person, as you know. So I just wanted to highlight some of the films, as I said, that are looking quite interesting. So I will start with The Drover's Wife by Leah Purcell, who is well known in Australia. And the film is actually about the legend of Molly Johnson, which is a reimagining story written by Leah Purcell and as a book, as a novel that was also turned into a play and is now this feature film. The story is sort of a reimagining of Henry Lawson's story from the late 1800s. So it is a very well-known story in Australia in terms of literature and theater. So I am quite looking forward to this feature film version by the same person who wrote the novel and play. That's The Drover's Wife by Leah Purcell. I also want to put on your radar, if you are attending virtually, Witch Hunt by Elle Callahan. This is sort of a modern American, it's set in modern America, I should say, where witches and witchcraft are illegal. So it's a really interesting look at the othering of people, primarily women, obviously, who profess themselves as witches or who have this ability or powers in terms of witchcraft and magic. So more to come on that film, but totally recommend that as well. Another film I want to highlight is Offseason by Mikey Keating. He is well known in the film circuit, film festival circuit, I should say, and this is sort of a film where a young, not a young woman, but the daughter of an actress, well-known actress, gets a letter that her mother's tomb has been sort of desecrated and she must go to this desolate island to look into it. And things happen there and she gets caught up in this sort of really eerie environment. Definitely check it out if you can. Of course, you know my love of documentaries, so I have to highlight a few docs for you also. I want to highlight, let me see, where should I start? Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched, which actually looks at the folk horror phenomenon and sort of something that started with films like the Witchfinder General, Blood on Satan's Claw, and the Wicker Man from the 70s. So it's sort of this really kind of analysis of how that folk horror genre developed. So I'm very much looking forward to that and hope to share more of that film with you soon. There's also a documentary called Luchadoras that looks at the female wrestlers in Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. And it's not just about them being wrestlers, it's also about how they're redefining what it actually means to be a woman in that country, where there is a lot of feminicide, and violence against women is still quite prominent. So I am very much looking forward to that film, and I hope to have more to share on that soon. Another documentary that I want to discuss is Fruits of Labor. And it actually is the story of a young woman in the US who is kind of forced to become the breadwinner for her family because of the different ICE raids and the the notion that not everybody has documents, right? So in terms they're, in a sense, they're undocumented. So she is forced to become the breadwinner. She has to go to school, and she also has to hustle and work 2 jobs in order to help her family with the essentials. So that is Fruits of Labor. I also mentioned there are some panels happening. I know that I'm interested in a panel with regards to cinematography and representation on screen. But these are just some of the highlights for you now, as I'm about to sort of gear up and get into the South by Southwest mode. If any of you are attending virtually, most of the films are geolocked to the United States, but there are definitely some films that are available to us outside of the US. So you know, hit me up with some comments if you're catching any films. I want to know what other people are going to be catching at this year's festival. And, you know, I hope that maybe some of these will make it onto your list as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll be back with more South by Southwest. Ciao.